Inflation. Dude, 9.1, that's what they came out with yesterday. I mean, from what I hear, if they would be measuring inflation like they did decades ago, it would probably be well over 20% inflation. And there's multiple reasons for this, okay? You can do your own research, because I'm probably gonna forget some stuff like I usually do. But the lockdowns were a part of this, okay? And that's why we have supply shortages. You still had demand when we had these lockdowns. So all the reserves that were built up were depleted. Then you had less workers to work to rebuild those reserves. And now people don't want to work because a lot of people got paid like a year and a half to not do anything. They got paid more than they were making before. So a part of it is the stimulus. Our government keeps spending money, like they keep sending money to Ukraine. I think they've sent over $65 million to Ukraine so far. But they don't really do much here. Now, this is more technical. I'm not too sure, but I think I can't explain this part very well, but us sanctioning Russia and our regulations with drilling and making our own oil, drilling for our own oil, made our prices go up. The Keystone Pipeline getting shut down, yeah, that was a big hit too. But the sanctions on Russia, man, I'm not gonna explain this stuff, but like, just look this stuff up on your own. It's with the trade, like they jack up prices. Like we might be getting our oil from a different country, and we're not getting it directly from Russia, right? But Russia sells to another country, and then they market. Then this country sells it to us, so it's like a third party. Like that does happen. It does happen, and they mark it up. That's another reason why we have huge inflation on different things. Like the big thing is oil. What? Like they want to cause a famine. Like this is what they want. You know, why? Why do they want to cause a famine? Well, they want to get rid of a lot of people. Those Georgia Guidestones that got destroyed, they got bombed, and now they got taken down. 500 million people. Now we got almost 8 billion people on this planet. They want to get rid of us. There's some different methods that they've been trying to use in 2021. But this is man-made. Like these lockdowns, they should not have lasted as long as they were. What should have happened, if we were going to lock down, it should have been a couple weeks like they initially said. But these Democrat-run places kept these lockdowns going unnecessarily too long. People should have been protecting themselves. Like this is not like an Ebola type of virus. Now for some people, yes. Mostly the older people. But we decided to do some measures. They decided to do some measures to protect the people that only have a couple more years left, and sacrifice the young people. Look at the people, the kids that have to wear masks, like how they're developing slower and like don't understand facial recognition. It's just it's ridiculous what they did to these kids. And these kids weren't high risk of dying. But this is all man-made and created because they want to push their climate change agenda. What's they're going to come out with? They're going to be like, famine was caused from global warming. That's what they're going to say. I guarantee it. And then, since people are hungry, they're going to go along with it. There's not going to be a revolution, man. There's not going to be. I highly doubt it here. I highly doubt it. That's why they haven't came for our guns yet. Because they know, like, if they came for our guns, if they just tried, they would get their ass handed to them. Like, I don't care if they got nuclear weapons, F-16s and F-35s and aircraft carriers. If you look at what happened with the guerrilla warfare in Afghanistan and Iraq, and probably Vietnam too, our military had a hard time dealing with those people because they didn't know who was the enemy. They didn't know. Everyone looked the same. And that's how it would be here. And plus our military, like, they keep on depleting the military by kicking people out because they don't want to take something. And they're leaving it with these, like, they keep on, like, for certain people, you don't have to do, I'm not going to talk about it, but there's certain people that don't have to do, what is that? Different physical activities. They don't have to meet the standards. You can look that, you know what I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, they're not going to come for our guns physically because they're going to get whooped. And if they did, we would find out instantly with this. We would find out instantly. They don't have enough people to do it anyway. I think from what I looked up before, military and police, there's like, I don't know, 2 million in this country. How many veterans are there, or people that are trained to shoot? Upwards of 50 million, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, do you think that 2 million? Yeah, they got the weapons, but that's why I think there's a lot of false flags. I haven't even no proof of this, but I wouldn't put it past this federal government, this new world order, because that's what they are. They don't work for us, and that's why I want less of them to be putting in false flags. I wouldn't put it past these people with these mass shootings, with drugs being pumped into different communities in America. I wouldn't put it past these people. I don't have no proof, but I wouldn't put it past them. But yeah, that's what I think that is coming is these man-made famines, man-made creative famines. So they can come, like, they create the problem and then they come with a solution. The solution is a carbon credit score. Which is okay in some aspects. I mean, it's kind of like money, right? Like, okay, my carbon footprint, I got to save up and then I can run the air conditioning more on this day or more on this time of the day. The same aspect can be said about money. Maybe I can't even run my AC because I don't have enough money. I'm open to new forms of type of currency type of deal instead of just like one monopolized currency that they control. Like, people on my side are all worried about the digital currency where they can just shut you off, which is a threat, but they can do that with our banks. Look what Justin Trudeau did. So having faith in our dollar, that is being devalued tremendously. Like people don't understand is our fiat dollar, it's becoming worthless. Like that thing is, they're gonna replace it. Like people that are holding on to those dollar bills and thinking like, oh, like first off, inflation destroys it, man. Inflation destroys the value, and it's being destroyed even more dramatically right now. And what people don't understand is they're gonna replace it, man. They're gonna replace it. Like our dollar is not gonna stay the same. They're making our dollar unstable right now. The dollar, it's a Ponzi scheme. That's all it is. Other countries back their dollar with our dollar. So they're essentially kind of like slaves, and we can control them because that's why our dollar is the best, because everyone backs it with ours. But ours is losing the value. There's nothing that backs it but guns and other people's dollars. And when these other countries wake up and realize they don't need our dollar no more, like Russia's been buying tons of gold. Other countries, like I think it's El Salvador, you can use Bitcoin as currency. You know what I mean? It's like when other countries start realizing the American dollar, there's nothing to it, and people are sitting here with all these paper dollars that are basically just IOUs. That's all it is. It's an IOU. But if you look at like Venezuela or Germany, and you ever look at anything like with inflation or hyperinflation in these type of circumstances, they become worthless. You can save all that money, all that paper money, all those paper worthless IOUs, and people use them like they burn them for heat, you know, use them for toilet paper because they're worthless. You have to use a wheelbarrow full of this currency to go buy a loaf of bread or something like that. It's worthless. So like that is and there's no use for it really anyway, man. People buy a lot of stuff on the internet, right? Whether you want to admit it or not, you do. Whether it's Grubhub or Amazon or whatever, you buy a lot of stuff on the internet. How can you buy things off the internet with gold and silver, right? Or cash? You don't. You use some type of like credit or debit card or something like that. So you're already kind of like in a cashless society. Like I don't like holding cash. I don't like touching it. I carry around a couple bucks in my wallet. That's it. I pay with my card with everything, man. And these people who are waiting for an apocalypse, like I think it's good to have gold, silver, different commodities, definitely for sure. Cryptos, even though they're down right now, doesn't mean they're gonna stay down. Just look at the history of it. If we were in apocalyptic, sometimes I can't say stupid words, so I don't know what's wrong with me. If we're in that type of scenario, like who the hell is gonna hang on to gold? Like what is gold? Like if we're in Mad Max, what is the point of gold? What is gonna be more valuable, gold, silver, or bullets? I think bullets would be. I think they're heavy too, like those materials, but at least I have multiple functions with it. As opposed to gold and silver, you don't have multiple functions with that. So if you're in a Mad Max situation and I can't eat the gold, I mean, I can use it to build shelter with, but you need a hell of a lot of it to build shelter with. So it has that utility, but it's not it's not really feasible. Since it's so scarce. And you need to be pretty rich to be able to afford enough gold or silver to build a house with. It's more feasible for bullets, man. And like our world is becoming very unstable very quickly. If the Democrats manage to win the 2022 election, which is highly unlikely, if you look at the past, it's usually the president, whoever wins the presidency of a certain party, the opposite party usually takes the House and Senate. The next after 2 years, with the next election cycle, the midterms, it's kind of like, I think it happens to like kind of balance things out and give checks and balances to the other party. But if they were to do another blue wave, which I was shocked that they did in 2020, and I have some opinions as to why, but I can't share them on here because you know why. If they do that again, I think it's going to be the same type of result, where same type of scenario, what happened in 2020. But I think they're going to become very, like, they're gonna push a lot of things, and they're pretty much at that point, like, they're just pretty much going to dissolve like the Supreme Court, they start getting, become a dictatorship, pretty much hand it over to the New World Order at that point. And if that happens, like, there's a lot of folks on my side that have been putting up with a lot of shit on the left, and we, like, seriously, we've it's almost like a kid throwing a temper tantrum on the left, and we're holding our breath. We're like a stepdad almost, like we're holding our breath, and we can't do nothing because of the mom. She's the one that has all the authority. But at some point, we're just gonna grab that damn kid, and then it's like discipline. And if she don't like it, that's just too bad. Like, it'll get real, man. And I'm not making any threats on here. I'm not, because I'm not gonna do nothing. I don't have any affiliations with any type of militias or anything like that. And I connect dots. I'm a spectator. I'm an observer, and I don't push any type of violence or any of that. I'm not telling anybody to do that, but I understand human nature. And if you look at what's happening in other countries like Sri Lanka, different uprisings, I guess there's some going in Germany and other places like Italy against their government, like, it could get brutal. Like, these people on the left are so concerned with January 6th because they know, like, that would be a prelude to something way worse if they continue to go far left and infringe on our rights and dissolve our Constitution. Because that's what will happen. They want to dissolve our Constitution, have complete authority over us. Something along those lines. I'm optimistic about the future, and we're gonna have to go through some tough times. We're going through a major transition right now. So the people who survive what's about to come, I think they're going to be very pleased with what life is, whatever that is, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. I think it's going to be probably pretty good. But in the meantime, like, we're in a major fight with these elites who control so much and are trying to take over. They're trying to get rid of people. and then they want to tell people to live a certain way while they live a lavish lifestyle. And people like me who work hard, like, we don't have a problem with that. Like, I don't have a problem with people having a better life than me. I don't. Would I like to have the opportunity to strive to have a better life? Yes. However, the extreme amount of wealth and power these people have is just too much. Nobody should have as much power as Elon Musk. I like Elon Musk. No one should have that much power to be able to buy a whole, like, spend $45 billion on a tech site, which, like, I want him to take it over, but like, just too much power, man. It should be limited. And Elon's different, man. He's not like these other rich people. Like, from what I understand, is he has, like, a small house. He got rid of a lot of his possessions, and a lot of these other wealthy people have a lot of possessions and material things and huge mansions for no reason. And it's just hypocritical, and it just, all that does is create hostility when a lot of people work hard. Like, we're working hard, and I can't stand that when people say, "Oh, you don't work like they do." Like, dude, I work hard, man. Seriously. I work hard. Maybe they have a little bit more stress because they have to make different decisions, but I put my life on the line every day I go to work. Okay? There's no reason why, if you work in 40 hours a week, you can't have a decent life. There's no reason why you can't. Especially if you're doing some kind of skill. But they're basically parasites. So, yeah, I don't. It's just like, they shouldn't have. Like, how many jets do you need? How many private jets do you need? How many yachts do you need, dude? Like, you have an abundance, and then you have a bunch of. It's one thing if you had a bunch of that, and then everyone else was taken care of. But when you got people starving, and then them trying to act like they're the good guys, like, fuck you, dude. You're not a good guy. You're sitting here living a lavish lifestyle, while people like me are scraping away to get by, and then you got people in the third world countries that are starving to death, or in, like, different other places that are being slave labor to people like me, which is fucked up. People deserve to have a decent life on this planet. We should strive for have better systems and be able to take care of humans better. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I think everyone should have access to decent health care and food and water and shelter. We should strive to figure out how we can do this for everyone on this planet, and still maintain some type of merit system where we can keep innovating. Like, somebody figure this shit out, man. Why can't people figure this shit out? You're way fucking smarter than me. My IQ isn't even that fucking high. People on this earth walking with, like, 170 IQ. You can't figure this shit out? Come on.